Okay, so this question asks us to integrate sine of 4t with respect to t from 0 to pi fourths. And the easiest way to do this is to perform a simple use substitution, which we will do by taking the inside function, which is 4t, and setting it equal to u. So the next step in use substitution is to differentiate both sides of the function, and we get du over dt times 4, right? And then you can move the dt to the other side, and we're trying to substitute this for dt in one of our upcoming steps. So we'll bring the 4 over to this side and do 1/4 du equal to dt, if that makes sense. So now that we have an expression for dt and for 4t, we can substitute them into the new integral, which is the integral of sine of u, and then it'll be du now because it's with respect to u, so du, and then I like to put the fraction out front, constant out front, just to keep it simple, so we don't have so much going on. And then another thing that's really important when we're trying to find this integral is that we have to notice the change in our limits of integration. So we want to plug in these limits that are in terms of t into this expression right here that we created to give us a limit in terms of u. So it's pretty simple. U equals 4 times 0 for our a, and so that would be u, like to be explicit and write the variable, equals 0. And then the following one, it's the same thing. You would plug in your pi fourths for t and get u equals pi. And so now we have a full integral in terms of u. And it's simplified, which is our goal in use substitution. So the next step is to integrate. We get 1/4 times the antiderivative, which is negative cosine of u. And then our limits, 0 and pi. We can do the next step, which is simple calculus 1 level. So we can plug in the pi first, and we get negative cosine of pi, which is -1. And then we can subtract negative cosine times of 0, negative cosine of 0, which is 1. And if you look at these, it's a negative and a negative and a negative and a negative, so we get 1/4. This is equal to 1/4 times 2, which is simply 1/2. And that will be your solution if you follow these steps.